Welcome. Hello, hello. So lovely to see your faces. People that I know, some folks that I don't know. Welcome. If this is your first time at Loops and Scoops, you're just ever so welcome. What we're really up to is increasing presence and connection. And one of the things that occurred to me this morning is that when I practice loop of awareness, one of the big benefits is that I get to choose where I'm putting my attention. And to me, that seems like an incredibly valuable skill these days, that I can actually choose where I'm focusing my attention. And the simple practice of shifting your attention not only refreshes you, but it gives you the felt experience of choice, not the idea of choice, but the actual, here's how I am focusing my attention right now, because everything comes from where you put your attention. As we know, it's probably one of the only things that is completely verified by psychology in the last 100 years is what you give your attention to grows. And so in loop of awareness, we're practicing shifting our sensitive awareness, our appreciative awareness, and the shifting of it is what unkinks the hose. And just that simple move is what I want to invite you to practice. So notice where your attention is now. Is it more out or is it more in? So I'm imagining, since you're on this call and you're listening and there are lots of people to look at, that your attention may be more out. So I'd like you to take a moment to just exaggerate what you do, what you notice when your attention is out. Yeah, beautiful. Actually, exaggerate that in your body. So what I notice is that my head tends to come a little forward, my eyes get wider, my breath comes up. And so do something to just gently shift what you're noticing is the habitual pattern. And one of the ways that we shift that is simply by bringing your attention the other direction. So, since most of us have gone out, bring your attention to you. And first of all, notice what it's like to bring your attention to you. So does that feel like a rich stream of attention, or is it more pokey, or more, meh, 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 or does it actually land? So when you bring attention to you, where does it go? And how does it land? And exaggerate, my cats just destroyed something in the other room. So a little attention distraction. So coming back to me, notice that my breath went a little bit and a little, okay, what are they broken? So uh, let yourself again exaggerate how you are receiving attention in you. So I noticed that my attention mostly came in up in here. And then I could feel my lower body going, hey, hello, I'm here too. So notice when you give attention to you and you exaggerate that, I'm guessing it's different than when you put your attention out. So let yourself again, let your attention go out. So it could go out towards something or it could just go out in general. And notice how you do that. And again, exaggerate that. Yeah. And then shift back, just letting your attention go blonk onto you. And I'd like you to deliberately let your attention land somewhere different and let it land differently. So here are some that you could let it splop, you could let it tickle, you could let it sprinkle, you could let it nuzzle. Let yourself choose a verb that feels delicious to you and let your attention shift in and then out a couple of times with that verb. So we've got a kind of a misty, overcast day here today. So I'm feeling more like I want to let my attention cuddle. So I'm going to send my attention out and I'm letting it cuddle. Notice how your attention changes with the verb. So letting it go out and letting that verb land, and then letting the same verb, so come back to cuddling you and cuddling a different place. And if you happen to have a cuddler on hand, I see in one of our Zoom windows, we're having some actual cuddling going on. So if any of you want to osmose, if you're thinking, what's a cuddle actually look like? It's been a long time. Just let yourself take that in and osmose that cuddling for you. And so for a few shifts here, let yourself notice what you do, exaggerate that a little bit, and then shift that. And then coming back to you and letting your attention land in a different place. So we're playing with the how and the where. So the how would be a verb, like I chose cuddle. So let yourself choose a different verb, a verb that might be a little bit of a stretch for you. Savor was one that came to me, so I can see I'm in the savor, cuddling end of the continuum. So notice if you're more there or you're more in the sparking, leaping end of the continuum, and letting your attention move with that verb. What's it like to let your attention leap out? And when it leaps out, does it land like Baryshnikov or does it land like a clown? And then letting your attention come back to you and be noticing where in your body just carries on, whether you give it attention at all, it's your little workhorse. Like for me, it's my right leg. It just carries on and holds everything up. And let yourself give some attention to the part that's just been quietly operating and taking care of you. Give some rich attention to that part. I can feel that cuddling, the kind of the way that I cuddle. We have a very smushy cat, and you just got to smush her. And so notice that my leg is going, ooh, love that, ooh, because I'm kind of smushing my leg with my attention. And so notice that even if your attention is incredibly powerful. So even if we're not in the same space with each other, our attention can be. So I'd like you to continue letting yourself shift your attention, letting it land in a different place in you, shifting it maybe with the same verb or with another verb. And if you've got a cool verb that you like, you can put it in the chat so other people can try it on. And I'm noticing as I'm doing that, that my breath is spreading out. Oh, I just realized that I was going to do Presence Connect Play with you today, but I can't find my phone. So that's part of what I'm using my attention for is where is my phone landing? So we can use yours, Michelle, when we get to that place. Thank you. Because I was just going, oh, wait a minute. So it's been like that. So part of what attention can do also is pick up the dropped stitches, pick up the places where you started to put your attention and then you got distracted. So I also really love to sometimes use my hands just to remind me that if I'm putting my attention out here, I still have enough attention for here. And I can shift out and then in, but I can give that same, if I touch here, when I'm shifting out, I still feel connected to me. So see if that gives you a sense of rhythm that feels resonant, feels like it's hooking up things so that you can feel attention and direct your attention and notice that there's plenty of attention. There's plenty of attention. So I'm feeling drawn to take that into giving attention to the sides of you. So when you go out to the side and then come in from the side, giving us some attention to the sides of you and out to the sides where your attention goes, because your attention can move in this sphere, this 360-degree sphere, but there are places where we have little blind spots with our attention. And so I love moving my attention out to the side because I find that's a lot where the intuition comes from. So one of the things I heard from Jung's work years ago is that the hunch comes from the periphery. So when we're sending our attention this way, we can kind of get what needs to be done, focus, focus, do, do, do. But when we send our attention out to the side, something else opens up. So let yourself experiment with letting attention just sort of waft out to the side and then waft into you, kind of like a wave. So the wave goes out and then it returns to you, to your sides. And then let that come into a loving yourself, bringing that love scoop into, from the sides, into anywhere that is wanting that extra touch. I can feel myself slowing and getting more into my weight, feeling my weight, not heavy, but here. And I can feel my out breath like, ah. So notice if you, with your loop of awareness and sending your attention out to the sides, whether that's given you a deeper sense of your own presence and your own dynamic presence. Because part of what I want for all of us is that we're able to be present in action, that we don't have to be still. And then when we get going, we lose our attention and lose our presence. So I invite you to take this practice of letting yourself go out and then back as part of your practice for this week, and out to the sides and coming in a different direction. But just take a moment to notice your presence, places that have opened up. I can feel more breath, like I feel more breath up under my collarbone. So notice if breath is moving in any different places. If you have a different sense of pace, I like to be able to choose my pace, and there's such urgency for many of us. There is like, with all of the adrenaline, that when I practice loop of awareness, it allows me to choose also my pace of moving through the world. So that's part of what I invite you to do through this week. And let's see what our Presence Connect play is for today. So Michelle, see what you pull up.
All right, so I pressed it and I got, for presence, notice and follow what your body wants to do most.
Well, that's great because that's what we've been doing this morning. So let's just take a moment to put attention, just notice you, and then notice any impulses of what your body wants to do. We hardly ever ask our bodies, what do you want? We always say, okay, do this, do that. And when you're finished with that, do this. And why didn't you do that? So letting your body go, here's what I want. If it's big or small, beautiful, great. And then what's our connect for this week?
Choose to see others as allies on your team.
So I've noticed that right away I went, and is the quickest way to move from criticism to wonder. So in fear, other people are the enemy. And we don't even realize that. It's just other people become the not like me. So when you, that allows you to see others as allies. And notice if you would be willing to see others as allies. So I'm willing, I want to, or I commit to seeing others as allies. So just take a moment to say one of those out loud. I want to, I'm willing, or I choose to see others as allies. It's such a powerful move, and probably the most powerful to begin bridging with people that we see as others, is to be willing to see them as allies. And for me, that commitment took several hundred times. So if you've tried it 5 or 6 times and said, oh, this doesn't work, just remember how many decades you've been taught to see others as enemies, and hmming and choosing. Beautiful. And what's our play for today?
New choice.
Great. New choice. So we think, oh, there's nothing I can do about this. I just have to put up and new choice. So just anytime during the week that you're feeling stuck, just make a new choice. So there's new choice with your body. So go ahead and do that. Just make some new choice with your body. Change your posture. Yeah, great. Beautiful. And you can see some new choices that you can copy. That's wonderful. And then new choice with your thoughts. So what's a habitual thought that you've been circulating, and make a new choice about that? Change the verb, change the thought, toss that one out, get a new one. And new choice with how you connect. So I invite you to let yourself look at somebody on the call who's unfamiliar to you, and just let yourself give some attention to them and give some attention to you, and give some attention to them and give some attention to you, connecting in a new way. Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you so much for presencing, connecting, and playing today with our loop of awareness. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the phone. And I'll see you next time. And you're welcome to stay and chat as much as you like. All right. Mwah. Bye for now.
Thank you, Kate.